Really.
Hello everybody. I want to say up front that I don't have a clear answer to the mystery of motivation, but hopefully you can find something in this video to take away. I think everybody has a story to tell. No matter how confined you are in life or how hectic things are, your mind is always free to dream. When you write, this is your world. You are the creator. I've never had much trouble coming up with ideas for stories. That's kind of a curse though, because I struggle so much with motivation. Inspiration and motivation are two totally different things. Coming up with ideas is the easy part. There's an infinite number of ways to imagine a story. You could take two random objects and turn that into a story. Pine cone lava lamp. Deep in a forest, there lives a magical tree with leaves of dancing fire and oozing sap of hot lava. One boy must find the 7 water fairies to defeat the sinister tree, Terrence. I think we got a YA franchise on our hands. The point is, the ideas are easy. It's motivation that's tough. Why should I finish a story? What do I get out of it, really? I've started so many stories and tried to sit down and finish them. And in the beginning, I'm so excited, but after a while, I just tune out. Why is that? Is my motivation gland broken? Where does motivation come from exactly? As I understand it, motivation comes from the idea that if you do something, you'll be rewarded for it. Maybe with money or fame or self-fulfillment. Maybe the reward is not being punished or avoiding something bad happening. But maybe you're right just because it makes you happy. Maybe it's an escape. Even if you constantly have great ideas and you're just always impassioned to write, writing takes commitment and at least some level of determination. If you do nothing, then nothing will get done. There aren't any shortcuts, not really. Writing is just putting your ideas into words. It doesn't sound too hard, but it does take time and effort. In this often ridiculous world, it's easy to become distracted. But don't let the distractions interfere. Find a place, preferably away from your phone or things like social media. Set aside a little time each day to write. Doesn't have to be a lot. And it may be tempting to stop, but do not. This is your writing time. If you say you're going to spend an hour writing, and you have an hour to spare, spend that time writing. If you don't know what to write about that. Keep writing and inspiration will come eventually. No writer's block is permanent, but having a schedule and clear goals is key. Remind yourself why you're passionate about writing. Think about how proud of yourself you'll be when you finish that next chapter, or start writing that big novel you've been talking about. Just do it. I speak as if I've overcome all my issues with motivation, but I haven't. Making this video is as much a learning experience for me as it hopefully is for you. I know we're already pretty far along in this video, but here are some helpful tips I've found while researching this topic. Number 1, set a time, set a place, and write. Doesn't matter how jam-packed your schedule is, there's always time to sit down and write. Even if it's just 15 minutes a day. What is that? That's nothing. That's an episode of SpongeBob. That's a couple bowls of cereal. Set aside a little time for writing each day and stick to it. Make it a habit. Okay, number 2. I've heard people say that the first rule of writing is don't talk about writing. Just write. I don't really agree with that. If you're excited, be excited. Tell people about your story. Get people interested. Knowing that other people are interested in your story can be a powerful motivator to finish things. I guess the point I'm trying to make here is be excited. Talk about your story. Share what you've written with friends. Okay, number 3. Turn off your phone. Pretty simple. If you write with a pen and paper, turn off your computer. If you write on your computer, stay off the internet as much as possible. Turn the TV off. Find a quiet place. Avoid music with lyrics, or music that will distract you. If you feel the need to listen to music while you write, then try to pick an album or a long playlist so you're not constantly stopping to find new tracks to listen to. Avoid social media as much as you can. Sites like YouTube and Facebook are designed to be as addictive as possible, and they're trying to consume as much of your time as they possibly can. I mean, I'm totally addicted to the internet. It makes it hard to do things like draw or write a story and finish it. But with a little determination, you can block out all the noise and focus. If I can do it, literally anybody can do it. Okay. Number 4. Make this normal. Make writing a habit. Make it as normal as brushing your teeth before bed. It may be hard in the beginning, might feel like a chore, but if you do it enough, you might find that, oh, this is actually super rewarding, this is fun. You might find that you don't want to write for 15 minutes a day, you want to write for 30 minutes a day, or an hour. The point where writing becomes its own reward is where I would like to be, ultimately. Again, if you're struggling with motivation, I'm right there with you. Number 15. Number 5. Don't stress over punctuation. Some people want to write a story, but they're afraid of punctuation. They don't know how to use a semicolon. They don't know if they should capitalize east. They're not sure if they're using the right there. You know, I tell people sometimes that there really aren't any rules for writing. If your writing is easy to read, then I think you're doing fine. Stuff like comma placement and dashes and colons, it's mostly up to your own personal style. People have written entire novels without quotation marks. Even if you butcher the spelling of everything, it can always be fixed later on. The story itself is all that matters. It's what's most important.
Number 4.
Allow yourself to write badly. It's perfectly fine to start over, but try not to. Never erase anything. Never delete anything. A story can always be retouched or reworked. A first draft can be objectively the worst story ever written and still end up being good. Rewrites are a lot easier than finishing a first draft of something. But you can't rewrite what hasn't been written. It's okay to write a story that isn't good. At least you wrote something. Be proud of yourself for finishing something. I remember I had a graphic design class and I was cutting business cards one day that we had made with an X-Acto knife. And it didn't look right. My card was looking kind of funky. And I told my instructor, this grandmaster of graphic design, one of the top dogs in the graphic design racket. I told him, I think I messed this one up. He looked at me and said, you know who else messes up? Me. Oh no, I always remembered that. Even the best of the best make mistakes, and it's totally fine if you work hard on something and it doesn't quite live up to your own expectations. Be proud that you made something, and learn from your mistakes, and forgive yourself, and try again. That said, I'm going to go ahead and bring this video to an end. Let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts in the comments porcupine below. And if you're new here, welcome, traveler. I hope you stick around. It's a pretty lax channel with a little bit of everything. Anyways, thank you for watching, and as always, stay squirrely. Bye.
A smart and stylish girl you see, belle of good society, not too strict but rather free, yet as right and rights can be, never forward, never bold, not too hot and not too cold, just the very thing I'm told that in your arms you'd like to hold. And join me, ta-ra-ra-boom-dee-ay, 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 and move, ta-ra-ra-boom-dee-ay, 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 ta-ra-ra-boom-dee-ay. You should see me out with Pa, prim and most particular. The young men say, ah, there you are, and Pa says, that's peculiar. It's like their cheek, I say, and so off again with Pa I go. He's quite satisfied, although when his back's turned, well, you know, ta-ra-ra-boom-dee.